Hello, as my voice cracks. Hello, everyone, and welcome to my stream. My name is Brian, if you happen to be new to the channel, and today we're going to be diving back into the world of Final Fantasy XIV as I work on my Monk controller guide. There's 3 guides that I feel like complete the set that I owe the Final Fantasy XIV community to finish, as that's something I committed to. And in celebration of the Final Fantasy XIV on Xbox, currently still in beta, in celebration of that, monumentous moment, I'm stepping back into the game, but there are some rules. Here are the rules. For anybody curious, if you want to clip this, that will end up probably being a lot easier. Maybe I'll do that in the future. Like, hey, here's the clip. Until I am below 210 pounds, currently in the 250s, down 60 plus pounds so far. Until I'm below the 210s, I cannot progress the story of Final Fantasy XIV one bit. Obviously, I'm not playing it late at night and early in the morning. I'm really kind of spending this time to really kind of go in and refine the controller guides, as well as help out any new players stepping into the game for the first time. I do plan to play Dawn Trail, but that still is pivotal to losing the weight. And since that is going well, I don't think it's going to be a long time until I actually hit that goal. I'm hoping this summer. That'd be amazing. But at the same time, I also want to do this very healthily and mindset. Now, what's going on, Andrew, Disco Ray, and RSJ Fan? How are y'all doing today? Thank you so much. I've got Yammer hanging out with me in Discord. We'll cut and turn on the Discord chat here in just a second. Just a couple other things, guys. If you enjoy the content I make, hitting that like button is a great free way of supporting the channel. If you want to go above and beyond, we do offer memberships and exclusive content here. There's a lot of generous patrons. So like, if you feel like, oh man, I'd like to check out that exclusive content, just hang out on a live stream and maybe you'll be able to, make that, maybe something will make that happen. Now, for every 25 degrees of support, I guess that's probably the best way to say it, whether you're on Twitch or on YouTube, whatever you feel like, as every 25 rolls across, I'm going to gift out 5 here to the community. So if that ends up being the case, I hope that everybody gets the opportunity to see some of the exclusive content that I've been making for members. But all that being said, it's time to play. Dude, I'm doing great, man. What's up, dude? Thank you, Cameron, for being my faithful pronunciation companion.
How's it going?
Dude, it's going good, dude. Going really good. I was looking at my timesheet for work, and I was like, oh, like I worked 25 hours overtime this month. I was like, all right, I think and tomorrow's we get paid once a month, so I was like, all right, my timesheet's done.
Shit. Okay.
Hey guys, if you need me, just call. Like, because I think I want to play some video games until I get tired. Actually, until I have to go pick up the kids from school. Cool beans. How are you, dude?
Doing okay.
Yeah, didn't sound like so confidently doing okay.
I'm just hard on myself, that's all.
Dude, I get that. I get that mindset. Yeah, I'm pretty hard on myself.
And my parents tell me, don't be so hard on yourself. You're so hard on yourself. I'm just like, well, you know where I get it from.
This is inherited.
Exactly. And I'm just like, I'm trying to, this whole writing thing, I'm trying to become a writer.
Yeah.
It's,
dude, you're not trying to become a writer. You are a writer. You're trying to break, into it.
Yeah, I'm
financially.
trying to break into this. Yeah, I'm trying to make a living out of it. And, I'm trying to, I know it takes a while, but I'm so impatient with myself.
Yeah.
Like, you could tell me you're trying to do the same thing. I was like, dude, it takes time, be patient with yourself.
And then you're like, yeah.
With me, it has to be instant. Like,
oh, dude, yeah.
Like,
that sounds sucky.
It's the worst. It's a thing I've never been able to break out, a habit I've never been able to break out of.
Casualties of Gaming says hello in chat. Thank you for being here, Casualties. I hope that I love always seeing those badges and the little green text. So nice. Thanks for your membership. And kick-ass name. Yeah. Okay. So how is there a process in which that you can kind of like go through and like focusing in on healing or something like that? Like, because Because that just sounds like, torture.
No, that's just me being an idiot and like being genetically related to my parents. That's all.
Okay.
There's a bunch of character traits I have that, like, if you just spend like a couple days with my parent, like a couple hours with my parents, and just ask them the right questions, you know exactly where it came from. Like, so this is just stuff that I am, and I have to learn to just like overcome.
Yeah.
So
I must overcome.
But I do, not to get religious in here, but
we get religious all the time up in here, bro.
That's true. I do pray to God, and I do ask God for guidance and strength.
Yeah, that's good, dude.
That does seem to help sometimes.
It can be a real big help. I mean, for me, like in just my life and lived experience, it's just like, okay, someone's like, oh, I don't believe in God. I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna try to sell them on you, but I'm like, man, fascinating.
Casualties. When did I stop? I stopped going to therapy in like 2021.
Oh yeah.
I think. I just didn't need it. Like at this point, I don't need. And I've gone through, I think, 10 years of therapy ish.
That's good. I mean, I like therapy.
Somewhere between 8 and 10 years. I'm not gonna get into why, but obviously I've told you, Brian, but I don't feel like it's disgusting on stream.
Okay.
No, there's nothing that a therapist is gonna tell me that I don't know how or what to do.
Yeah.
At this point, I know what I have to do. I know how to get over it. I just gotta do it. So
yeah, that's the thing. Like, I talked myself out of doing stand-up comedy for years. I'm talking like 15 years of like, I'm gonna do it. And it wasn't like I was like afraid of getting on stage. I love attention. I don't know if you saw the reaction that I did to that video. I actually was like, I gave you a shout out in it because I was like, I had to go through our chat history to find the one video reaction. But one of the things was like, yeah, like content creators like attention. I'm like, yes, we do. But it was always like,
I mean, what? You're not a content creator if you don't like attention to some degree.
You got like, if that does not exist in your blones, you're gonna really hate the attention you're gonna get. It's just like, no, I love it. I was like, I'm just like, yeah, this is great. And that's the thing is like people like trying to meme on me for being excited about Final Fantasy coming to the Xbox. I'm just like,
I sent that to you, right?
You did. That's how I found it because he unlisted it. And because he unlisted it, yeah, well, I was just like, because like watching it, like I had my reaction to him, and you got to watch it. It's great. It is
the like dislike ratio on this thing.
It's members only.
No, I mean in terms of his original video.
Oh, I don't know.
Because I'm wondering if he. Wait, I don't see it. Wait a minute. I might be in the wrong chat.
Yeah, it was our DMs, and that's how I scrolled and found it. I don't know the like to dislike ratio. I'm guessing it was pretty popular, but you fast forward a year and a half later, and the things that I said that I was going to do, I've done and am doing. So it's like, I mean, no, but he couldn't. There's no way he could have, known that. But I think I was like, I don't know if he took it down around the time of my 1 year update. Like, I don't know what that strategy was like, but yeah, I was like, yeah, hell, let's go, And I really wish they had a better interface for the market.
Yeah, it's not great. Actually, it's funny because like people shit on video all the time.
Yeah. 1 second, Casualty says therapy's helped me. Finally had to break and do it this year. It's a valuable, and I'd encourage it. I echo the same sentiment as well. It helped me. I have, or I would say, I have anger issues. Like I have a temper, I guess. Generally, it's you never see it, right? Like my wife and I, we've been married so long that she's like, I'll get to a point where I'm like, I'm just gonna leave like the room. Like I just need to get away from the situation because I could feel like myself losing my cool. And that's that, I mean, and therapy kind of helped me look into kind of I did behavioral cognitive therapy, helped me look into the kind of the root of what's going on, you know, deep down, what's the underlying thought, what's kind of tripping this up. And that's helped build up more. Like, it's like, oh, okay, I know how to phrase this before I even get to the point where I'm like, now I got to leave the room so I can cool down. So, cause like, I'm like, when I lose my temper, like I'm not making logical sense. I'm not making good points. I'm just mad. And it's like, okay, if I don't have to get to that point, like, you know, how can we do that? And what's up, Strynex? No, I'm on PC. This is my main account. As a part of the celebration, I have it running as a free trial on the Xbox downstairs, but I don't have the ability to level up Monk all the way to 90 when I've already done that. So I was like, all right, yeah, I'm back on PC. But I mean, if I told you I was on Xbox, I don't think there's anything you could see that would be like different from what you would experience on Xbox. It looks that good. In fact, actually, somebody was like, all these PC guys coming in and, you know, saying this is Xbox gameplay. It's like, yeah, the videos that I made that were Xbox, you know, focused, that's Xbox gameplay 100%. So I was like, oh, the fact that you think this is PC footage tells me that they did a really good job bringing this game to Xbox.
So the video has a good ratio.
Oh yeah, that's, again, remember that, like if I did it, hey, it's weird. Like I was the first, right? But like then you see a year later, everybody's having the same problems. So it's like the video, even outside of like me as a focus, doesn't age well because I called out problems with the game that it took. And honestly, I think a lot of the creators who are a year later followed kind of my strategy. Yeah. I think they were feeling all of those problems when I was having them, but the hype was just too good. And that's the thing. I'm like, I was talking with Kirk about this, like in our chats, and he's like, hey, you going to play some more Nightingale? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm not going to bend over backwards to go and play that game, even though, like, you know, like, yeah, we're going to talk about it, but like, I got to play, because I played Final Fantasy VII Remake last night. Like, I got to play the game that I want to play. Otherwise, why am I making content in the first place? Because it's like, if all of a sudden this becomes a job and I'm like, all right, I got to play the one thing that I'm going to, you know, like that, you know, like for the review or whatever. It's like, I don't have that luxury of time to sit down and be like, yeah, I'm going to spend all this time in and finish it. Like, I got so many more unfinished games that I'd rather be playing. I'm going to do that. Not that Nightingale is a bad experience. It's just like last night when I was like, what do I want to play? And the answer was overwhelmingly Final Fantasy VII Remake. I was like, yeah.
Scrownix wants to know, his girlfriend has Xbox. Is it good for crossplay?
Yes, absolutely.
I would
absolutely. Yes, like this is great. This in my mind is the pioneer of cross-play, cross-save. Even to a degree, Final Fantasy 11, because that's really where like it started. 14 had it from day one. It just didn't exist on Xbox. And then we've seen, like, that's the thing when a lot of people were like, hey, how do I transfer my character from PC to Xbox? Like, you don't. It's all done. You just buy the license for that platform you want to be on, and it's done. There's no extra work that needs to happen, you know?
I mean, what would make it perfect is that, you know, you buy one copy and you can just shift it wherever you want it, but that's not, you know, I understand, like, things.
Man, did they get rid of positionals?
No, there should be positionals, I think.
If they got rid of positionals, man, this is going to be so much better.
Well, what's Oppo form? Where's that come from?
Changes to Raptor. Comes from Snap Punch. Oppo. Changes to Coral. Twin Snakes. Additional effect. Discipled Fist effect.
I mean, I think the forms have to do with
Masterful Blitz form shift.
Why is this not?
Allows for execution of weapon skill that requires a certain form without being in that form. Riddle of Fire. Brotherhood. AoE stuff. Riddle of Earth. Alright, see ya. Oh man, yeah, we'll talk about anything here, casualties. I think that's kind of just a think an important thing about life and gaming, like I'm people like, oh, you know, you shouldn't discuss, like, it's like, guys, if you're gonna be too sensitive to have a conversation, and I always try to say, like, they should always be framed with respect, but it's like, at the end of the day, like, if we can't have real conversations, that's more of a problem. That's more dangerous in my mind. Oh, dude, this game runs great, Andrew, on Steam Deck, by the way. It runs phenomenally on Steam Deck. Hey, what's up, Min Kim? It says, hi, Ginger Prime, just dropping by to say thank you for all the 14 controller guides. Thank you for stopping by the live stream. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. All right, let's see here. I'm just gonna go. I feel like I'm missing something. Like, damage dealt increased under the effect raises critical. Did they get rid of positionals from Monk? Because that would be phenomenal. Like, oh my gosh, then I could just. But then why have True North? And why have True North? Oh. Oh, dude. Yes, dude. I hope you enjoy it. I honestly, that's where I got a lot of my leveling done with the Steam Deck. With the Steam Deck. Form shift, masterful blitz. Delivers attack with potency. Weapon skill does not share recast timer. Meditation. Thunderclap. Mantra. Riddle. Perfect balance. Riddle of wind. Do I not have this set at all? I'll do that. Enlightenment. This is an upgraded skill. Howling Fist and Enlightenment. Where's Enlightenment? Masterful Blitz. Is that? I think. Oh, that's Enlightenment. Okay, cool. Extends. Can assign Phantom Rush. Can excite Rising. Fire Rising Phoenix. Celestial Revolution. Formless Fist. I'm not seeing a single positional. Huh. Weird. So right now I'm on a monitor. It's actually I'm on an ultra wide monitor, which I'm not playing the game in ultra wide at the moment. It's just 1080p, but like, oh my gosh, dude, like I am so blessed to have this. I love playing in ultra wide. Yeah, dude, I'm not seeing a single positional for Monk whatsoever.
Weird.
Right. So I'm like, honestly, not upset.
Then under traits, like.
Oh, let me check. That's a good idea.
Like, are the stances under traits maybe, or no? Doesn't look like it.
Nope, that is not the case. That is not the case. Roll.
Weird.
Yeah, and we still have True North. Nullifies all action directional requirements. I don't even need this anymore. Like, it's just a wasted bar. 1 second, let me go here. Let me get rid of you. No, I'm gonna keep Twin Snakes over there in case I. Wait, does Twin Snakes have a counterpart for AoE? So this increases damage dealt by 15%. Oh, no, I'm just gonna do that. I don't need Twin Snakes over here anymore. Wait. All right. What I need to figure out, so it's perfect balance to get into it. Boom, boom, boom. I get that. Now I can execute this, which is going to give me that. Now I think maybe I have I do another thing. Get back into it here. So, oh, hey, whoa. Ellie Gaming, tier 1, 35 months of support. Thank you. Hey, there we go. Okay, that's how I get both of them. Now I should be able to execute.
Dirk wants to know what job you like the most.
Personally speaking, I really love Summoner. I like casters, Black Mage, Paladin. I like tanks. So generally, I kind of go healer, tank, DPS. So I don't DPS. I don't get a DPS that often. And now, how do I?
And that's generally with most MMOs you play. I would take it.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
from what I've seen,
I'm maining a healer in New World, for example. Like, and it's like New World, and then I'm like, all right. And then if somebody comes along and says, hey, I want to heal, it's like, cool.
Yeah.
What does the wind give me? Reduce auto attack delay. Okay. And how long is that on? 90 seconds. Okay. Cool. But yeah, I generally prefer, like, if you're going to say, like, what job do I think that I would love to see in the game, it'd be Time Mage. But with Beastmaster coming in, honestly, I wish all jobs kind of had a limited version of them, because it's way more fun and flexible and weird, you know? Like, one of the things I'm really enjoying about Final Fantasy 7R literally is that, you know, like, the game just does things that it's just fun. Like, you can go and you have all of these. Okay, that's how I get into it. That's how it's done. Okay, I see how this is happening.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that I have to get like both sides of that chakra, so it's going to be a combination. In a way, this kind of is more like playing like the Blitz guy. What's his name? Why am I drawing a blank? I always named him Brian in Final Fantasy 6.
I don't know. I have no idea what you're talking about. That's okay.
Sweet. All right, cool. Beautiful.
What new class are you looking forward to in Dawn Trail?
Easily the Pictomancer, especially with its inspiration and style from Final Fantasy, 6. And oh man, it's just, I love Final Fantasy 6. All right, so I can't do the roulette. Let me go for it. Atroa, Sigma Dreamscape. No, I won't do that one. The Dead Ends. I don't like that one.
Hello, dude.
Boom, baby. How about you, man? Like, I'm glad that they're getting Viper, but I mean, deep down, like, I really wish. Oh, and back to the sub over on Twitch. Thank you, dropping a Phoenix here on us today. Thank you very much for that support. I appreciate you so much. And if I go and let me go ahead and update the member goal here. Pushing us up to 6. Sweet. Thank you. Thank you. There we go. I'm enjoying. I'm getting some fast pops on a DPS, which is fun.
A lot of people are playing, I guess.
Maybe. I like the little card for party members that shows up now.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. My favorite class was Reaper, but
yeah.
I don't know. I got disenchanted with the game in Stormblood.
Yeah.
And I've said this before many times. I got to like level 88, and I just got really bored, and I didn't care about anything I was doing. So I just I just shut the game off and uninstalled, and I haven't played since.
Yeah. I think breaks, no matter how long, are I think important.
I think it did. No, I have no interest in going back to the game. It's not even a break. It's just I have no interest.
Yeah, I was there. Like I'm actually looking forward to Dawn Trail and playing the story. But I was like, the story of it wasn't that the story of Endwalker bothered me. It was this like the mid tier going from Endwalker to Dawn Trail. Like I just don't feel any. Like it just feels like it's just going to be set aside. Like, oh, remember that?
What do you mean?
It doesn't feel like it has any real stakes in the overall. I'm sure, like, come 8.0, we're like, oh, hey, remember these characters? Yay!
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think the stakes are going to develop once you get to the new world.
Yeah.
But I don't know what they would be. I mean, it might be like I don't know. I feel like primals are going to come back up again, right?
I would hope so.
I don't know.
The way they like the primals got a whole different treatment this last time around, Endwalker.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, I found other games that I'm having more fun with. So
Yeah, dude, that's the thing. Like, gaming should not be a job.
yeah, it just playing FF14 was just a chore, and I was just like, all right, I gotta like step away.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. I mean, people are playing it. People are having fun. Good for them.
Yeah.
Not gonna shit on them for having fun.
I do wind and fire. Or my buffs.
Ooh. That'll do. If you work in games, yeah. That's true. I mean, especially if you're like a QA tester, right?
Yeah.
Like,
It's a whole different it's a whole different game plan though.
yeah.
Like that's the thing. Like if I had to play Final Fantasy 14 to survive, you know, and feed my family, like how am I don't know. I don't think that doesn't sound like a healthy way to live.
Yeah. What's up, Nova?
Hey, what's up,
Not
Nova?
much. I turned off my computer on Monday, and then it's because I was moving it to a new desk, and then I forgot to turn it back on.
All right.
That happens. No worries.
But yeah, it's actually not a computer desk, it's a typing desk, but it works, so.
Yeah,
Good. That's awesome.
it's fine.
I don't actually know what a typing desk is and what the difference is between it and every other desk in the world, but, you know, whatever.
I mean, I'm making my own game. You know, Goodrich. So yeah, that's not what I'm like implying. My constant and prevalent concern is that of the content creator who relies on a video game in order to continue being a content creator.
Yeah, I feel like Goodrich. I mean, QA gets shafted so many times and gets blamed for so much. It's unfortunate, you know. Which I get, you know, they're responsible. They're responsible for picking up bugs and, you know, game-breaking things. But like sometimes they just don't.
It happens.
Sometimes they just don't show up, right? Like, you know, I'll bring up my experience with the New World preview event. I had a bugless experience, but there were a bunch of people, like most of the player base experienced bugs, and I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I thought it was perfect. And then the game comes out.
I had the same issue with Cyberpunk. Everybody said Cyberpunk was broken. I'm like, I have not experienced a single bug.
Yeah, and then the game comes out, you know, officially launches, and there's bugs everywhere, and I'm just like, what's going on? I was really confused. So, oh yeah, it's. I'm not. Brian is.
What's up?
He said, Goodrich says, "Oh, you were in games, fellow dev."
Yes, I'm a software engineer, and we are in pre-production on the video game that I've wanted to make for the last 10 years. Right now, actually. I mean, not the second, but yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
How much is it going to cost when you put it out there?
The goal is for it to be
for Steam?
$30, maybe Steam Early Access for 30, and then if the quality is there, $40 for release. So like, you know, an incentive for somebody to jump in early. Because then if it does okay, like if it does enough to where I'm not, you know, getting another mortgage on the house to get it finished, like, then yeah, I'd like to bring it to console. You know, Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, whatever, like whatever console. Like probably one at a time. We'll see.
What's the genre gonna be then?
It's an RPG. It's an action RPG beat 'em up roguelike. It's got a lot of stuff going on. It works all like that systems are all like designed with, you know, their relationship with them all in mind.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, how does the RPG affect the roguelike? How does, you know, like all these different things.
Hiccup.
No worries.
I ate that.
Nom 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 nom.
I hate it when the hiccups are like cause actual pain.
Yeah.
That's annoying.
PlayStation Publishing is very involved. The guys I've been talking with and we were working on this, they're like, oh man. So I was like, yeah, PlayStation is not the lead platform.
The platform is what? Xbox?
No, Steam.
Oh,
Yeah, well, because we can launch in early access. If we were like, if we got to a point where we were like early access on Xbox and Steam, why not? Yeah, Xbox allows that, where PlayStation does not. And I'm like, yeah, that's fair. It's your system.
I personally, that's the one reason why I would probably never get a PlayStation of anything is because I cannot live without my mods. And I mean, Xbox has some mods for some games, but PlayStation I don't think has mods hardly at all. So
no, they don't.
I could never play anything on PlayStation because of that. It's like, I need my mods, man.
Oh, thanks, Godridge.
I hardly mod anything.
Yeah, it's one we're focusing this year on pre-production, and the hope is, and that's kind of what, you know, like y'all hanging out on the stream and like what I'm trying to use the revenue from content creation, because for me, content creation has been primarily a break-even endeavor, because I'm like, yeah, I have an editor, we work on bigger, like, you know, more scripted edited videos, and it's fun. Like, it, you know, it doesn't cost me money, but it's not like, oh yeah. But this year, like, that's why we're doing the member incentive program and all these things to just try and, like, yeah, if I can get the channel actually, like, in a kind of, it made money kind of way. Like, I want to use some of that money. I'm using my own money, but some of that money from the channel to fund the game itself.
I might have to re-download New World on my Steam Deck. They just got native controller support.
It is so good on the New World with the native controller support. It is so good. We will be mainlining some New World here in a couple of weeks when it goes publicly to everybody.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like, it solves every issue that I've had. Like, I mean, well, I want more content. Of course, that's the next ask. But like the core issues of getting into the game and enjoying the game, like, it solves all of that. And I think then they're gonna make that that announcement regarding console support at some point.
Mm-hmm.
The main reason I'm excited about the controller support is because that it's a lot easier to play on the Steam Deck. I would think.
Oh yeah, it's the only problem is I always ran into loading, like, you know, windows where it was like, whenever I had to load into a town, like through teleporting, like, it would crash. I don't know if the new, if the new like when they released the new update, because they've been working on like lots of things, and they do actually have Steam Deck support on their backlog.
Yeah. And technically speaking, I could just. The thing is that I only have 3 USB ports on my computer, and in order to plug in my controller, I would have to unplug either my keyboard or my mouse, because the other thing plugs into my external hard drive that has a lot of important things on it that I just can't unplug unless I want to lose half my stuff.
Yeah. Now, Disco says, sounds like I'm doing a SIG sort of thing with public funding my game. Now, I'm not actually doing any public funding of the game. It's like just in terms of just like saying I'm taking the money that I'm making off of content and trying to work it to where then that's basically funding the game. But I'm not actually going to have like a GoFundMe or anything like that, because or like, I think that's not a GoFundMe, but a Kickstarter, because I just think, especially as a content creator, like that, there's a risk in terms of like, oh yeah, you said it was going to do all these things, and I put $5 in for that. And it's like, all right, like I'm taking members along the development journey, but yeah, well, yeah, we have but I just have members. Like, I don't want to have to manage more platforms.
Which is fair.
Well, the reason I was mentioning Patreon is because Patreon is what a lot of authors also use. It's basically just pay what you want donation type dealio thing, where it's just like, oh, you want to support the creator here? Go ahead,
Yeah.
You can give whatever amount you want. It's not required. It's not, it's just basically like, thank you for your content kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, it depends. Some authors.
I don't know how it works.
Some authors will actually do like exclusive actually, most authors will do exclusive content on their Patreon.
Yeah.
So
the ones I go
like
into
monthly story
do early access, essentially. Like they'll have an early reader.
Yeah, some of them will do early access.
Later.
Some will do exclusive stories. Some will do both. It varies. Some will do commissions, which can't imagine that being a fun thing, but whatever.
Just taking unnecessary damage at every possible turn.
In terms of writing a story based on someone else's like demands, and it's just weird.
I'm so confused by this thing. So, for Stardew Valley's 8th year anniversary, they're doing a worldwide concert tour? Like,
what?
How does that work?
I guess the people play the music to the game.
That's what I would think, but it's like, I don't know. It's like, why would you have a concert tour for a video game? How does that work?
And you're seeing all these studios just lay people off, dude.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah. So I'm self-funding, and then essentially like, and all I'm trying to do is communicate within the content world is, hey, before I was always kind of like, yeah, we break even here at the channel, not a big deal. I can afford it. Allows me to get a game, or two like a month, which is great. And that's pretty much like, I've always just been very content. Now it's like, how can I make value driven content that if you guys want to, you can then jump in and support, and then you get these perks for doing so. And so, yeah, like, it is a big, in my mind, this is a big shift in how I've always kind of managed content. So that, like, focusing in on quality, focusing in on like exclusive, offerings, etc. And then with the intent that it's like, as that I can hopefully grow that, then I can go and sit down and say like, oh great, now I'm able to, sock away $400 a month or $500 a month towards this big project that I'm doing. And then we'll be funding it also out of my own, savings that we have, like, as a household. Let's see here. Because then essentially, like, one of the things I don't and I won't do is I won't build anything on debt. Like, debt is, I think, one of the biggest things. And I so many people are like, but I manage it just fine. I'm not judging you. Like, do whatever the hell you want with your life. But like, I'm not going to go into debt to, like, do this. I'm gonna fund it all in cash, so that way, I hope that I can break even on the game. I just want to have this game in the world, and I'm really curious about when that finally does come to fruition. So
that's fair.
Let's see here. There's definitely some changes I want to make to my layout here. Let's see here. I like tapping up into here for these things. That feels good. But when I'm here, I want that. So I'm gonna go here, and I want to copy that.
I kind of want it.
What do you want?
A new stuff pack for the stems.
They got you.
But
they already got you. You're like, put that there.
My sister keeps having to remind me to stay strong and not buy the kits.
I don't need these skills here at all. Form shift, I might do that there. Dragon kick, sure, why not? Faint. What do I want to put here?
Ouch. puppy. You're
Second
adorable.
win,
You
there we go.
squeeze.
We'll pop
you're
second
so
win
pretty.
here.
You're a pretty puppy. Oh.
You remember the
Dog is
2008
fine,
game
it's
crash? This was this is the next level, and it will get worse. Studio closures are next, and you're doing it the smart way in this environment. So what's actually really truly kind of funny, and I'm not, and this isn't to say that the layoffs are funny. I'm saying that people aren't really aware of some of this like looming monster that's been going on. For the longest time, basically money was as close to free as it could be. So what people were doing is they were borrowing money, and then they were throwing it into Silicon Valley and the stock market, and into these investment things that didn't actually produce any real true product, right? We saw all these services and things pop up, and they were like, how are they even making money? And the answer was they weren't, but because the stock was so valued, people were able to leverage and just funnel money into these systems. Now, like I was talking to a guy because he was like, hey, can you make an API interface, all these little things? And I was like, yeah, I mean, I can. This is what it's going to cost to do that kind of project. And he's like, and he was talking about, it's like, the debt, like trying to get money, to borrow money, the cost of it's like 5x. So where before risk and all this stuff got mitigated through arbitrage, etc., like that avenue is been completely dried up. And so now these companies are like, we actually have to make a product, we actually have to make money, we actually have to do these things. And you're seeing these stressors and these knock-on effects of all these zombie companies playing in. Now, how this impacts gaming is that when you talk about Sony trying to make a 320 million to 380 million Spider-Man 3, like what's the opportunity cost? How much did it cost to make Helldivers 2, for example? Like all of a sudden, like they're making this massive amount of investment, and you also have this fatigue and this frustration among gamers that it's like, yeah, like if it's a 10-hour game or a 20-hour game and you're wanting me to pay $70 for it, and then I just look over here and these other products and these other games that I can just go play those. And so the risk has risen, I think, to a point where they recognize one misstep, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, you're done. Like it doesn't, I'm sorry, you're a multi, whatever. Like there's only, like, Microsoft, I think, has the freedom to make wild mistakes. Amazon too. Sony, not so much. And I think we're seeing that in Sony's actions when you look at the movies and all the reports, like that is just like Sony labeled, not necessarily PlayStation, but Sony labeled, is like they're making like, we need cash, moves. We need to either hold on to this cash, or we need to be bringing in more cash every day than we are right now. And I don't know if that is to fend off a hostile takeover, or if they're just like, oh crap, we're behind the ball, we need to spend a lot of money in investing in all these things because we've been capitalizing off of our previous investments. Nvidia is a really good example. They say they're at year one of this just insane profit thing that's going on for them, and they think this is going to be a 10-year just boom, for example. So yeah. And Goodrich says, yeah, the cheap loans were keeping things afloat, and you saw that all say, yeah. And yeah, it artificially inflated things. That's actually the thing that I try to just tell people is that, listen, if you owe money, if you are in debt, you're indentured. You got to think of it as that relationship. You're going to make less money from work because of that fact, because companies want you to be indentured. They want you to need that job because then you're cheap. And as soon as you can shift that mindset to be like, I'm not going to owe anybody any money, but Brian, I need to borrow money to do this. Like, okay, let me help you daily budget. We'll figure this shit, out. You do not need to live off other people's money to win in this world. But that's just marketing that's been sold to a lot of people. But the minute that you're like, I don't need this job, like I don't owe anybody any money, like all of a sudden you start to see your income just go up because you're like, I don't need to be here. And then they're like, but we need you because you have the expertise, and it's going to cost us so much more to go hire somebody else. So people's salaries are, we've had artificial inflation in terms of like overvaluation, right? And then we've also had suppression of salaries. So and that's why you see the gap between the rich and the poor just getting wider and wider and wider, because they know something, and then marketing, and I blame, credit card marketing. They spend billions of dollars to get people to, to live outside of their means. Shifts into like, oh yeah, like why are the poor? Like, well, they're constantly having to pay interest. And when you look at the government's 45% of the government revenue, not our taxes, mind you, but they're like, our taxes maybe make up 10 to 17% or something like that. The government makes the vast majority of its money through the student loan interest program. Like that's where and so they're like, yeah, Biden's going to forgive this student loan debt. Like, I think that was just a campaign promise, guys. Like, and the ones that did get qualified,
what's weird,
the numbers show like has he? Like when you look at the numbers, it's like like maybe 1 or 2% people qualify. Like it's like, hey, we're gonna do this. Like, but are they?
I think he's forgiven like 180, 130 something billion dollars of debt.
Go look at the if statements on those, and it will terrify. Like it is actually more deceptive than that. It's not that he's forgiven you; he's indentured you for another 20 years. Like it's like, okay, if you make this minimum payment, you're going to be eligible to have this debt given, in 20 years. Yeah, it's not like instant. You wake up and the money's gone. Right. So it's like it says it will be upon this, and it's like, honestly, no offense, like I'm not going to trust the government to be indentured to them for another 20 years.
No.
So I don't know about other poor people, but like I'm on SSI, which is
oh yeah,
for
buddy,
people with disabilities. And the main thing about SSI is they won't let you get off. You're not allowed to have more than $2,000 in assets, which means you can't save money. And if you can't save money, then you can never like afford to get off SSI.
Yeah, I've seen those. It's so frustrating.
It incentivizes you to stay on it, to stay on the government.
It punishes you to try and better yourself.
Yeah, it's totally effed.
And
I'm all for like if we want to have social programs that can help like safety nets. Like we just got to pay for that.
Let's start with Lyndon B. Johnson.
You know how much food stamps I was getting before COVID? Because COVID changed a lot of stuff for this. But do you know how much food stamp money I was getting before COVID hit?
How much?
$15 a month.
Oof.
Wow.
That's how much money I would have for food for a month.
That's like a bag of chips and a stick of gum.
Yeah.
Some bread and
Yeah. Oh, back then. Yeah.
You could. From what I was talking to some of the people in my building, were getting as little as $5 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard that.
Oh, and meanwhile, how much we throw into Ukraine? How much? Like I was like, it's not like the best joke, so it's just something I'm just still working on. But it's like, like I make a whole bit like about like how I had I don't want to do it because it's not nighttime and people who's listening to this might have kids around. But it's that ultimately like I discovered that I'm 10% black and now I'm really all about them reparations, and and then it's like I go into it's like I have a plan because as a a former 100% white guy, now 90% white, I know the secrets, and the secret is we just need to name the kids Ukraine. And we need to name the kids.
We need to name the kids cities in Ukraine.
Yeah,
Ukrainian cities.
After Ukrainian cities, and then you watch the reparations flow in.
Say that we should give reparations for all the slaves we've held. Or we should give reparations for the black people because we had them as slaves. If you want reparations, go to Africa and ask black Africans for reparations because they're the ones who sold you. White people didn't go into Africa capture slaves. Black people in Africa sold black people.
Everybody sold everybody. Like my ancestors were slaves because we were Irish, and we were like,
because
people also sold like
a white person was more likely to get malaria in Africa than a black person.
Yeah. So, but like, people also sold slaves to like the Native Americans. The Native Americans also took people as slaves. People they raided. It's slavery.
It was a good thing to get rid of. It was definitely a good thing to get rid of. But yeah,
Slavery was not a remarkable thing about the Western world, right? There's been slavery throughout human history. The remarkable thing is that we got rid of it in our countries.
Yeah, and there's still, and the sad
More or
fact
less.
is there's still slavery in on this planet, and
Yeah.
you know, and it's like, all right, and then
I mean,
it's
I just heard
what was it?
slavery.
I mean, what was
Indentured
it?
servitude is a form of slavery
well,
because you will never.
people are
how much you
opting
pay
into
in,
that,
because you
right?
can't
Like,
get paid.
Sort of. Indentured servitude was not quite slavery.
it's
No, it wasn't
now there
quite.
that you can
It's that you
organize
never
it,
pay enough out to
right?
get
But
out.
you can organize it so that it's like basically acting in that way. Oh, I'm dead. Because you know where it's like, hey, yeah, we're sign this contract. That's what I'm like. A lot of these, like, yeah, you can get out of credit card debt, but it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt a lot. And for me, I know it hurt. I paid off $100,000, guys. That was student loans, credit cards, and the fact that my house sunk 6 inches into one side cost me 35 grand. Like, life will find a way to mess with you, you know.
The funny thing about credit cards is I will never get into credit card debt because I have no credit, which means nobody's gonna give me a credit card.
Which is good, actually. That's gonna save you countless
yeah, I
amounts of
know.
dollars.
But the thing is that because I don't have any credit, because no credit is definitely worse than bad credit. But since I have no credit, I can't get bank loans or anything either.
That's
I
not
can't,
true. You can
know,
actually do a process called manual underwriting, and there are several banks that do that. You just need to know to say, hey, let's go ahead and do a manual underwrite. You can buy a house. You can do any. You do not need a credit score, and that's the thing. It's like a credit score is actually like, think about it. It's just a score for like your relationship with debt. How, you know, like, and we've been conditioned to think that it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything about that because, like I said, I have never had credit.
You know why? Because they don't want you to be free. Like, it's like there are some very sinister reasons why. You know, like people don't know that they don't need, like, you can use, like, yeah, manual underwrite. I tell people about it all the time. Do it. You know, it maybe takes a little bit more. It maybe takes a little bit more work, but you're gonna be okay. You know.
Yeah, because the thing that I need to, things that I need it more than $2,000 in order to buy transportation because I am legally not allowed to drive because I'm legally blind.
Ooh.
So I need a vehicle that can take me places that I would be able to get to without a car.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I want is a, one of those electric assisted bicycles that can haul me around up hills and all that.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
But those are expensive.
Yeah, they are. I saw one and I was like, I don't have a need for one, but I was like, they look cool. Like, I was like, man, if I lived in a city and just was walking around, like, yeah, honestly, it's not even a bad idea for, around the town, but.
Because right now I walk everywhere because I can't drive.
Yeah.
Like, I've never even had a license.
Oh, wow.
I've been legally blind since I was 18.
Wow.
Which, just so you know, legally blind doesn't actually mean like blind.
Yeah.
Blind is when your glasses.
I don't think my wife
there's
is
a certain
legally
standard of
blind, but
vision.
she's close. That's how she married me.
Yeah, when your vision
To her, I'm a
when your
beautiful
glasses are no
blob,
longer able
baby.
to get you to a certain standard.
Yeah, I mean, there is a point where your glasses can no longer be, I guess, updated.
Yeah,
For your
they
eye.
said that my glasses are as high a prescription as they can possibly go. So that's why if I play a game or watch TV, I have to have subtitles. And they have to be really,
They
really
say
big,
most
big
millennials
subtitles.
actually now watch shows with subtitles on. And it's interesting because I never really thought about it, but Julie and I watch a lot of shows with subtitles because it's like, wait, what do they say? Like, it's like, wait a minute, like what? A little accent, and it's like,
I blame the music. Okay, I always had my music on so loud.
No, I think
now my hearing.
what I've noticed is that movies these days, their volume balancing is worse.
Yeah.
And also, people mumble in their movies sometimes, or they speak really low.
Most millennials don't play Monk. I love it, dude. What's going on, Patrick?
Like, I'll watch old movies, right? And you can clearly hear what they're saying.
Monk has no positionals anymore. I was just blown away by that because I positioned a lot of my stuff on Monk because of where like it worked in the positional world. Now I'm like, oh, I have freedom, and it's weird because In Final Fantasy 14, it's like attacking from the side or behind that it has an additional effect or something like that. Usually more damage or more potency.
It's usually more damage and like a buff of some sort.
Gotcha.
Like for example, Samurai.
Well, I'm gonna knock out Monk, and then I'll probably go and do Dragon, and then I'll do Samurai. And I think those are the 3 that I owe everybody. And I say "oh" in a lovingly way. If someone's gonna come into chat and be like, "You don't owe me anything," it's like, I understand.
Not. Apparently, there are still forms, which I don't know what they do.
The forms just move into different, like.
Yeah, but apparently there's no. What is that about? I don't know what that thing is. But yeah, apparently there's no.
Ow.
No positionals anymore.
Ow.
The only time I genuinely liked Monk was PvP. I don't even like PvP, but when I Monk PvP'd, it was fun. That's fine. That's
I don't
fair.
PvP either.
I mean, I don't like PvP in most MMOs anyway. So.
I don't PvP because I have nerve damage in my left hand, which
it's
is the
gone,
one that goes
Crow.
on the keyboard.
I literally looked at all the skills at the start of the stream, and I'm like, I looked at the abilities, and I'm like, there is nothing in here about positionals, but yet I still have True North, and I do wonder if that's going to be a signal to be like, 7.0, like, yeah, we got rid of positionals.
Oh.
That will save a skill slot.
Baby. A fluffy baby. Fluffy, fluffy puppy. Oh, fluffy.
I have no idea what I should be doing.
I have no idea either.
I do not know what is going on. with that eye ability, I have no idea what's going on with that.
Yeah.
It's a little unintuitive.
I just pulled out my Steam Deck.
Oh yeah, Steam Deck, baby. Let's go.
Beatrice.
Beatrice? Who's Beatrice?
Oh no.
Whoever this was.
Whoever that was a Beatrice. I don't know.
It's been a year and a half. And for those who missed the opening part of the stream, it's like as a part of the conditions in which that I can work on these guides, like until I'm below 210 pounds, which is roughly about 50-ish to go from now. I'm not going. I cannot advance the story at all. I cannot step into the expansion. I'm like, nope. So I'm actually having a lot of fun. It feels really good to step back into Final Fantasy 14. The fact that it's also on Xbox and there's so many new people coming in and like, oh my gosh, yes. It's like, yeah, dude, it feels, yeah, I'm so happy for people who are on Xbox and can now play the game.
Mm-hmm.
Now my mission is to get Final Fantasy 14 on GeForce Now.
Oops. There. Ow. Oops. Taps. Back. Right. Oh yeah. I totally forgot. I should probably update my mods.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be wise.
Yeah. I should probably check and see if Moria needs an update itself.
Did you beat it yet?
I have the ability to learn, Patrick. This isn't the first stream I played Monk. I'm like, all right, I'm watching, I'm paying attention. Like, I think that's one of the things that it's like, not that it needs to happen, but like that I wish people understood just like the amount of work that goes into what I'm trying to make, I don't know, that of a way of me like, yeah, guys, like, I know that you're saying, hey, when can I get this guide? Are you working on the guide? It's like, yeah, it takes a long time.
asking if I beat Return to Moria yet.
Which Mario?
Yeah, did you beat Return to
to
Moria
Moria?
yet?
Did I? I'm sorry.
No.
Beat what?
No, I'm talking to Nova.
Like I
You
beat
didn't-
It's a game
beat
called
Mario
Return to
Wonder.
Moria.
Return to Mario. No.
Return to Moria.
Oh, for Lord of the Rings Online.
No,
No, it's not online. It's a totally different game. It's a game called Return to Moria.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a survival game.
Cool.
Lord of the Rings survival game. You're a
It's
dwarf.
apparently a lot more fun with with more than one person.
I mean, most survival games are. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. Do. Is this poo? Wait, what? It's in Russian.
I guess I don't have anything I can throw at him.
I love it. This mod. I need this mod. This is a must-have mod.
Patrick asks
For return.
if FF14 on Xbox is successful. Do you think there's a chance FF11 could also come to
Dude,
Game?
I wish, man. I wish. In fact, actually, one of the things I've been wanting to bring back to the channel is Final Fantasy 11 Lunch and Loots and just play on like Horizon XI. You know, and it's like, oh yeah, dude, like that would be so awesome. That announcement. I think though that if that ever had the opportunity to happen, that it would be like, hey, we've moved 11 into a whole new engine and you know something like that. But
Yeah, I think it's highly unlikely at this point.
yeah, I wouldn't
But
count on it.
things are likely to change, I guess, or it's always possible they'll change. I should say, not necessarily likely.
Oof.
I just found a mod for Return to Moria that lets you have multiple epic items at one time. I don't have to drop my torch, just use that stupid, what was it? That stupid pickaxe anymore. I want both the torch and the pickaxe. What's wrong with that?
Oh man.
So 11 is
yeah.
unlikely, but 11 remastered is solid.
I would think out like that has a higher potential because unless they want to support cloud, so cloud could actually solve for all of those solve the problem, because then it's like, imagine if it's like, all right, just boot up this browser and play 11, you know. Arg. If they did something like that, I could see. Oh. Wish I had a ranged attack as a monk. Used to have like chakra or something.
I was gonna say, didn't all classes used to have a ranged attack?
I like the voting system with that it uses the character cards. That's nice.
All the commendations.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very good stuff. Very good stuff.
It's a better
Yeah.
UI.
Thank you guys for the 13 likes on the stream. Yay.
It's a crazy inventory, Brian.
Thank you.
That wasn't a compliment.
See if I can store any of this in my armoire now.
Hopefully.
Many chests. Store an item. Mel,
Jeez.
Tina's
Wrong
earring.
button.
What was this? 30% well, in level 80 and below. Yeah, we can put that in there. I don't. Oh, I gotta repair.
And if it's a gray, I would just vendor it.
Decent. Is there a repair? Ready check.
Mom sends me a picture and it's like Oreo mini cupcakes. She's like, yes or no. I'm just like, we have enough sweets in the house.
They sound good though.
Oh yeah, I mean, listen, Oreo baked goods are just delicious.
Dude, yeah, I agree.
No.
I haven't had sugar in so long. I'll look forward to when I can.
It is an unfortunate weakness I have. Like anything sugary and sweet, I'm just like, especially if it's a baked good. It's like a cookie or a cake or anything in between, dude. I'm a sucker for it. And if it's got chocolate in it, oh man.
Nice.
No, that's a no to the Oreos, Patrick.
How dare you? Nobody's allowed to say no to the Oreo. That's a blasphemy, dude.
I know. I'm terrible. But hell. Well, that's interesting. One thing I hate about cats, or at least my cats, they get fur everywhere. Like, it's like every day I have to clean fur out of my mouse. Well, Liam, because he's able to, he jumps on my desk and like sits on my mouse pad.
Yeah.
So he just then again the mouse because it's a laser mouse, you know, and they don't make ball mice anymore that I'm aware of. So he just like it messes with the laser.
Yeah.
And with the DPI, so it's like every day I'm cleaning it out, and it's really annoying.
Restart required. Humbug. What if I don't want to restart?
I wonder.
Yeah, materia. None of it makes me wish we had the Final Fantasy VII materia system instead.
Yeah.
Looks like this market is bottomed out.
Are you liking the remake so far?
Yes, dude, it's so good. Like, it is very refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, that's where it's like, man, like when you look at 16 and it's like, yeah, I like 16, but man, I like 7 remakes so much more.
Yeah, there was someone who said that like 16, they felt like Squeenix like dropped the ball.
Yeah.
But with 7 remake, there's a resurgence of the old guard, which I'll take their word for it. The only Final Fantasy game I've played is 14, so you know, and that had like very little to do with any previous Final Fantasy game. So
important changes regarding your Oculus account. Huh. What?
uh-oh.
Let's see. Need to...
A bunch of these materials that I'm betting were from the raid. Probably no longer needed, so it is what
How
it
do
is.
I do that?
Oh, at least I got my inventory cleaned up a bit.
Oh crap! I don't have a. Can this guy run?
Yeah, I like the story, I like the characters. Honestly, I like the combat. But then when I stepped into Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I'm like, this is the RPG that's missing out of Final Fantasy 16. Like weapon upgrades and doing all these little things, and then you have the materia, and then it's like there's so many little like systems that are all like fun to kind of toy around with, man. Like I think that's a part of the fun.
Yeah.
And that's where it's like 16. It's like I don't need to unlock, like I didn't feel like I need to lock any abilities.
Well, from what I saw, FF16 was given not nearly as straightforward as other entries. I'll take your word for it. In my rudimentary understanding of both games, FF7 Remake has more RPG elements than FF16 does. FF7 looks more similar to older Final Fantasy games, just based on what I've seen. But I don't know how true that is.
I'm gonna get rid of that. I don't want to have that on my bar.
Put something out and released on time. Let's give them that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree. I think the fact they put something out on time is great. You know, like I'm not down on 16. I'm just like, I get the critique on 16, and I'm really glad I played 16 before I played 7. Same thing. I'm really glad I played Starfield before I played No Man's Sky and Star Citizen. Like, there's an order of operations to where it's like I feel like everything just keeps getting better, as opposed to like, oh man, that was it was better before. What happened? You know? Hopefully that makes some kind of sense. Well, I think I got probably one more. I mean, I got to go pick up the kids from school. But I think I got one more round of testing in me before I feel like I'm going to be very comfortable in recommending the Monk controller guide. Now, I think I'm probably going to kind of think through Riddle of Wind, Fire, and Earth, because I want to make sure, especially with Wind and Fire, because that increases overall DPS, that I'm playing with those in a good, solid way. But yeah, this has been good. This has been fun. Thanks, guys, for hanging out with me, especially if you're watching this as a VOD. No longer live. Be sure to sound off in the comments with VOD Squad. I really appreciate you so much. It is a truly humbling experience to have people who are like, hey, he's not live, I'm gonna watch what happened. You know, it's like, it's truly humbling that people take the time out of their day to do that. So thank you guys. Go ahead.
Do you notice an uptick in your viewership at certain times of day?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Like, I know that generally I block Monday and Tuesday to talk about video game news, because that's usually when video game news drops.
No, in terms of like video viewership.
I mean, it tells me kind of where like my subscribers are most active, but okay. I don't know if that really affects the videos or not. So I don't know.
Because anyway, yeah, you can end the stream.
Cool. I've got permission, guys. All right. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. And hopefully, who knows? Well, I don't know when you'll see me again, but until then, take care.